Hey, it's Pete from Keep It Sharp. Today I wanted to do a quick video, and this one's for my groomers on clipper blades. Proper sharpening, proper reassembly, and just to give you some information you should be looking for so whether your sharpener is doing a complete job or not. I'm going to show you the way I do it, and we'll go from there. Now I'm going to switch you over so you can see everything properly. Stand by. Okay, we're back. What I got here is one clipper blade taken apart and essentially one that's whole, okay? So I don't have to technically put it together for you to waste time. So when your blade's apart, now at this point here, what I do is it goes to the sharpener, and obviously this one isn't freshly sharpened, but those two areas are what's sharp, and this is called the comb. Just in case you know, this is your cutter, and this is called the cutter. When you sharpen, you're sharpening up here and down there, these rails here. So after that, it comes over, and I use a clipper cradle to put it together, and I guess I'll just set it in there. And so how this works is, first your spring, everyone should know that, and the spring is critical. When you're a sharpener and you're reassembling the blade, the spring is going to be one of the adjustments, okay? Now, what's missing? In the spring is the socket, okay? If you ever had to put one of these together, you take this, you take your ears, rabbit ears down in the hole, pull back. Just in case, see? Let's do this closer for you. Rabbit ears down in the hole, pull it back, and then it's in, okay? Now, what a sharpener will do then, possibly, if it needs it, he will tighten your spring by tightening where the screws go through, okay? That would go in your clipper cradle. Next thing, your cutter, remember this is the cutter, would go on the, one thing I didn't show you, real quick, on your spring, up here, that little plastic piece, that's the guide, and it's made of, I think, Teflon, and if that falls off, you need to replace it, okay? Well, cutter would go on top of that. Can we see that? I love the clipper cradle. It was someone's invention, and it's fantastic for putting blades back together. So then you would oil your cutter down low and up high there. Then your blade, your comb goes on top of that. And your two screws here go in the two screw holes. Oh, snap, there we go. And then you tighten them, not all the way. You would tighten them until you got just a tiny bit of grab. And the next really important thing, and if a sharpener's doing his job, then he sets the setback, which is the, oh goodness, I didn't bring a pen over here. Here we go. The tip of the cutter teeth is back from the shiny part, from the tip of it. It's back about the width of a credit card, okay? And I just realized this fell out. So hopefully we're getting good audio here. Sorry about that. We'll get this back in a minute. Okay, and after he gets the setback, then both screws are tightened very tight, okay? So we're going to switch to the other blade. I got a 7FC here. So you're in, you got your setback. Boy, this one's at the bare minimum. It's not quite where it should be, but let's assume it is. Okay? Now when your sharpener gets it put together like this, what is next is checking the spring tension, okay? How much the spring is pushing down on the cutter really is a major adjustment. And a lot of guys skip that. I don't know why, but we set it here. And what that does, too tight, is going to make your blade wear faster, get hotter. Not good. Too loose, it's going to act like it dulls really quick because it's not getting the pressure down it needs to cut properly. As soon as anything goes on, I mean, if it was super loose, it would just immediately fold hair. But so, and I've heard of groomers tightening these. I don't know how they're doing it. And I don't know if that's why I get tight springs when I put them back together. But you don't ever want to tighten those. I know you can, and the point is tighten it a little more, and it'll cut longer. I think it adds a bunch of other problems. And some people think screwing the screws in tighter tightens. It doesn't, okay? So what you would do is, what I do is if it needs to be loosened, we put a screwdriver in the side. We have a way of doing that. We have this other tool here. There's a way you can adjust it up at the top of your spring. Give yourself some extra tension right there. And is it finished? No. The next step is the sharpener should then, and this is a critical step, is put it on the clipper, turn it on, and let it run for about 30 seconds. It takes about 2 minutes for a full seating, but seating the blade's another thing. So if they're not testing it on fur, they could give it to you. And now here's a little tip. If it doesn't cut, something's going on, let it run a minute. It may be full 2 if you got the time. Then try cutting with it again. It may be seated then, and you're ready to go. But a good sharpener, next step is lets it run for 30 seconds. That begins the seating process. Then they test it on fur, okay? They test this thing so you can see. And so I put it flat on the table. And then you test it. Rabbit fur is the most fine. That's a great thing to test them on. There's also faux fur, which I have some of that. I kind of go back and forth. So then, and only then, is your clipper your clipper blade ready to come back to you, the customer. When you get it, it should cut right away. If it doesn't, or if it's acting a little sketchy, like I say, we do a 30-second, or I do a 30-second, test it on the fur, and if it cuts, what should happen is it fully seats, it's just going to cut better, okay? But if some reason it's acting a little funny, let it run for a minute to 2 minutes. Try it again. If it's still doing it, throw that in a bin that says not sharp. You want to call your sharpener within probably the first week after. You should have gone through several blades. If you've got a few that don't cut, throw them in there and call your sharpener. If you call a month later, we don't know. You could a month later have done 100 dogs and it's just dull. So don't be unfair to the sharpener and say, call them within a week. Week 2 is really pushing it. Say, hey, I got blades that didn't cut. I want you to come back and fix them. If they put you off or whatever, I don't know. You make your assessment there, what you think about a sharpener. I would run right back. I don't get callbacks because I go through all the steps, okay? We didn't talk about the spring adjustment. I showed you how I loosen it up. There's ways to tighten it up. Remember, I took that tool in the beginning. So what usually happens to me is it's a little tight, then you adjust it off, and there's a way to do it. We have a scale. I use a gun trigger thing, but what it does is you put it on the spring, you pull it back, and it'll go. Let me see if I got that right. Look at that, right where it needs to be. It should be between 2 3/4. Is that focusing? 2 3/4 and 3 1/2. Okay, that's proper spring tension. Well, like I said, an issue. And a lot of guys put them back together. It's super tight. They don't care. Boom. I just can't do that. I go through all the steps, start to finish. I rinse the blades after they come off the sharpener, which, there you go. It's that big machine down on the end. I rinse them. I do a double rinse on them and I dry them off before I put them together. But that is how it should be, okay? See, feel this. That's just about perfect, okay? What we do, but you should be able to move that a little bit, okay? Now, you might want to check. I lube the blade, before I put it back together. And then I put this in a little plastic bag and give it back to you. That way you'll know that was the plastic bag ones are the sharp ones. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to do another video on how to properly maintain your clipper blades. I might throw a little bit in on the clippers. We now, at Keep It Sharp, sell, I sell 2 types of clippers, and I sell clipper blades as well. I'm in the North Georgia area. I do come down as low as Kennesaw. I go up 75 as far as Cleveland, and I go out 24 as far as Mount Eagle. So I'm covering a pretty big area. A lot of you will be in there, I hope, and I hope you'll give me a shot. You know, the way I do things is do it right the first time, and you know, honor your customer with good, very good work. So we're going to try to stop it right there today, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Hey, real quick, there's 2 things I left out I'd just like to mention. When I put it back together, you do lube that guide there before you set the cutter back on it. And the last thing I do before I test them, I didn't say to you, is there's a tool here. And what that does, it goes on those 2 rabbit ears, the 2 wings I used to call them, but it sets it at the proper width so that you're not getting a noisy clipper blade. Okay? Thank you.